And good morning. Welcome to a Tadpoll for Thursday morning. We, as usual, have a very, very busy one. We're going to talk about CASA, the big chocolate event they have here. We're going to be talking with the Hanson Foundation about the great program they have. Of course, that's with the scholarship program. We're going to be talking about the play coming up, The Odd Couple, the women's version. That's coming up tomorrow night and Saturday and Sunday. We have some of the cast here for that. We're going to be talking about the blood drive. We'll be talking with Shelley about the blood drive coming up, very important. And the program, the core group at USD 325 Phillipsburg, Mike Gower is going to be joining us, and he'll be talking about the hate program. It's coming up next Tuesday. It's going to be interesting. Also, we'll talk about security a little bit at the schools at USD 225 Phillipsburg and some other things. And, of course, the program made possible every Thursday morning here and Saturday morning next door at the bakery with the sports by those great sponsors that you'll be hearing from, and they're scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Are so helpful to let us come in here and do this every Thursday morning. We really look forward to it, to find out some of the things going on in the city, Phillipsburg and Phillips County, and so on. Okay, first thing we're going to... Good morning, Shelley.
Good morning, Tad.
Shelley Smith with this morning to talk about the blood drive. And it seems like we have one bingo. We have another one
I know.
right away.
That comes faster all the time.
Okay, so what are the details of them? When is
Okay,
it? And what?
it is March the 8th. That's a Thursday.
Week from today.
A week from today. Out at the fairgrounds from 12 to 6.
Okay.
So if you can be able to give blood, we would really appreciate it. There's been a lot of sickness going around, and so we consequently, if you're sick, you can't give blood, but the ones that are healthy, we need blood.
Sure. Well, it's a two-edged sword, isn't it? Because you need blood, but
Right.
you can't get the blood because people are sick with the
Oh, I
flu
know.
and everything. Yeah.
There's a lot of influenza around, and you
Yeah.
don't want that in
It's automatically
blood.
that eliminates you from getting
Right, for right now.
Obviously, it would. That's
Yes.
Okay. And so, if someone who does it every time, they've been notified, so they know what's going on.
We have a calling committee that goes out there and calls the local people to go do the blood drive, or if you want to schedule an appointment, you can go to redcross.org and you can schedule an appointment, or you can call Sherry Woodside and set up an appointment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeff had her number.
Not right offhand.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just Sherry Woodside. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Is that in Almena or
No,
Long
she's in
Island?
Prairie View, but she
Prairie
works
View,
here.
Prairie View, okay, I knew she did. Okay, Prairie View. So just
Yep.
just call Sarah and make an appointment. You
Right.
you need them. Walk-ins. You take walk-ins.
Oh, we
so-
love walk-ins. You bet. I mean, because a lot of the farmers that do come in,
Sure.
and they never know what they're doing, and so
Right.
we're in a rural community, and so walk-ins are very much appreciated.
Sure. And of course, the blood is very much appreciated.
Oh
and-
yeah,
And it goes to Wichita, is that right?
goes
And
to
is that where the
Wichita.
base is for our blood?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
and a lot of times too, I know from several clients that we've had. They also Red Cross has your email, and they will email you where your blood went.
Wow.
Which is
neat.
really kind of, I mean, it doesn't do to everybody.
Sure.
But sometimes it does. We've had cases where the client would tell us, well, I went to a child.
Wow, that's great.
And, that just, it just like, wow, this is really neat.
Sure. Yeah.
Or it's went to some, a soldier or, it's just really neat that, they
Know
find out
that
where their blood
is
went.
for, They were back several years ago when I had my problem with the blood cancer. I had 34 transfusions.
Wow.
And I had no idea where it came from, but I had 34 here and at Hayes and at Wichita. So
Well, it probably hopefully it come
Yeah,
from, one of our
sure,
donors even
yeah,
maybe. So
that's right.
you don't know.
Sure.
But we, as I say, with the sickness and everything, we understand, why you can't come. But I know at the last time I looked at the schedule, we weren't even half full.
Wow.
So we
okay.
need to, if they can come, as I said, walk-ins are more than welcome.
Sure. 6 to 12
12 to 6.
12 to 6 north of town at the 4-H building or the
Yes.
fair building there. And just if you don't, you find out you can make it.
Just
and
come
are
on
there-
out.
Can you Is there anything eating so much before that or drinking?
Nope.
Or have anything? Just show
Just make
up.
sure you drink plenty of water.
Okay.
That's the main thing with anything. Just drink plenty of water, and that helps. And we have bottled water out there. So if you need a bottled water
So
while you're sitting there
snacks
waiting,
too, don't you?
oh, we have snacks.
I remember the snacks. That's
Marty
great.
always has a good kitchen for us.
Uh-huh.
Marty and Darlene. That's usually a ham sandwich or egg salad sandwich, or chicken salad sandwich. So we always have goodies.
Okay, so just help out if you never have. It's not a bad.
No.
It's not a bad experience. Just
No,
go
and if
out.
you're a first time donor, that's all right. I mean, we can help you through it. We can, we'll help you, to get that first pint of blood.
Sure, and then of course you're in the system, and there's no time you go out. There might be a little waiting time sometime if you go out
Sometimes
as
there
a
is.
walk-in. A walk-in is sometimes tough because you have
Right.
but if you're they say 10 o'clock, you go on, you're there, you go at 10
Yeah,
o'clock.
and if you can't make the time that you're scheduled for, if you want to come in early, we'll try to fit you in,
Sure.
But no,
Very accommodating. So
we try to be.
help out the blood situation, and if you can go out and find out whether, and they determine that day whether or not you're eligible to do it too.
Correct.
Right?
They go through a history, and a lot of times you can go under Red Cross org, and you can go ahead and get signed in.
Sure. Okay.
And then all they have to do is do your blood test to see if you got enough iron, and then and that it kind of speeds up the
Sure.
process.
Okay.
So you can do that too.
Week from today, just go out from noon to 6, and if you're already in the system, you'll be notified if you haven't already been. If you just want to see, hey, what's this all about? Going out.
Yeah, you come on out.
Come on out and see what's going on.
Uh-huh.
And you can make that determination then.
Right.
And
And our coordinator from Hayes is usually up here. His name is Bill Dingle, and so he'll be up there, and so he can also answer questions or anybody out there.
And blood is needed.
Oh, you bet.
After the hurricanes, they had some
Oh,
problems
yeah.
with the bleeding blood, and now it's a lot of illness and everything. So.
Correct.
Okay, Shelley. Well, we hope that people fill you up. Out
Oh,
there.
well, I hope so too. That would be great.
Have you ever turned anyone down? Probably not.
No.
Unless you're really okay.
No, we have never turned, even if they've come in late. I mean,
Yeah.
usually they're still going, and then we'll
Sure.
take you.
Yeah. So go out and give blood and help out not only this community but other communities in Kansas and everything. And if you've never done it, just show up sometime between noon and 6. And we'll get 'em in. Okay, fine. Thank you, Shelley.
Yeah, thank you,
We hope a
Tad,
lot of
for having
people
me
come.
on.
Sure, fine.
All righty.
All righty.
Okay.
Blood drive, a week from today, Phillipsburg. Very important. American Red Cross taking care of that. Of course, they got really involved with all the storms and tragedies and everything. All right, let's talk about while we're waiting. I think Mike Gower is going to be next with us here. We're going to talk with Mike, and some of the sponsors include all your friends at the Farmers State Bank in Phillipsburg, where interest begins the moment you enter the door. Interest and you remember FDIC. Mapes and Miller is not what you make, but what you keep. Mid-America Real Estate, providing the best homes in the area for over 40 years. Dan Hines is looking through the window at us here. On the door, they share the time with us here. He comes in every morning, wants to get on, and we kind of make him go out the door. Anyway, Mid-America Real Estate, blossoms and butterflies, making beautiful flowers a part of your life. Sign Solutions, your one-stop sign shop, so much more. Madison Motors, in business for over 70 years. And I think they've been putting me in cars for over 70 years and vans. And Rogers Associates, your local trusted choice agency. Mike Gower, good morning, Mike.
Hi, Ted.
How are things going at USD 225?
Okay.
A couple things I want to talk about. Well, let's talk about the core group. I'll get my information out here. And a special program that Phillipsburg's having is Why Is There Hate? Let's talk first about the core group, and then we'll talk about this program.
Okay.
Then we'll talk about a little bit of security at the schools. Okay.
Basically, we had 3 students per grade level, 7th grade through 12th grade.
3 students? Wow.
That the staff and administration picked. And then they've been meeting with Jason Johnson, who's going to put on this program. He's a former administrator and education consultant from Southwest Plains down in southern Kansas. But he's been meeting with the kids all year, just working on different topics such as anti-bullying and the why is there hate, kind of the topic in the country right now. It seems like people can say whatever they want to say, you're trying to teach kids that there is a consequence for your action, and you social media, people are 10 feet tall and bulletproof on there, and so again, we're trying to teach kids that what you put on there, it's there for life. Somebody could always go and find that, and you've got employers doing that now. They're looking to see, well, what did you like, or what did you post, and so just kind of wrapping that all into one, and just trying to teach our kids to be better citizens.
I'm not reading the social. I mean, a little bit, but my only thing about social media is. You can say something on there, and you're a lot of times aren't responsible for what you say. I mean, there's more and more of that coming, because it's there, and now it comes back to haunt you maybe 10 years from now.
Yeah, you're right.
So you be careful what you say on there. So the students on the core group, do they meet with or they just try to what they learn from Jason? They go back into the school, right? With it.
Exactly. Then they go back and present. To the entire student body. And we've been doing some different things, like on Wednesdays, especially at the high school. We've been having a little bit different schedule where the last hour and a half we've had what's called passion projects, and kids can go and work on things that they're interested in, anywhere from yoga to cooking to mechanics. And also during that time, then we've had the core group kids present to the entire student body, and they've done some social experiments. Like, for example, like at lunchtime, we all like to sit with our friends.
Sure.
You and I still like to do the same thing. But
right.
think back to high school.
And,
back in high school, that's what you did.
Sure.
Well, one of the experiments they did was you had to go sit somewhere else,
really?
and that kind of got the kids talking, and they said, it kind of feels a little bit uncomfortable,
sure.
and we're no different. You and I try to sit with our friends, if we go somewhere.
We come in somewhere, we see someone we know, we go sit with them.
Yep, exactly, right. Exactly. So just all different kinds of things like that, but it's all about trying to be better citizens, and the no hate thing, again, that's kind of based upon anti-bullying, trying to get things to do the kids to do the right thing.
Look, this goes way back. When I was in school, we had bullies. On the playground, they would come out. We used to have a lot of fights on the playground. A lot of fights on the playground. Then you go back in, the teacher would separate them and all this. Or they'd be out on the playground, separate. No, bullying has been around for a long time.
Oh yeah,
and is it still a problem?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say you'll ever get rid of it. There's different. The definition of bullying is unprovoked and persistent.
Okay.
and like you're talking about on the playground. Sometimes, if I push you down and you turn around and punch me back, that wasn't really bullying. We had a disagreement, and we can hopefully work it out, and we're good to go the next day.
Yeah.
Bullying would be persistent. I'm just making fun of you all the time.
Fun
you're not doing anything to provoke me. I'm just picking on you day after day, and so. We're trying to combat that, and a big part of this presentation is also going to be if you see something and you know something, report it.
Okay.
And that also, Ted, rolls into this security thing. If you know something, if you're hearing something, if you see something on Facebook, tell somebody. if you're not comfortable with the teacher, if you're not comfortable with the counselor, if you're not comfortable with the administrator, find a student that you're comfortable with that can go make that call. And why are we inviting the community? Well, we all work together, and we're trying to combat bullying. We're trying to combat hate. We're trying to combat just mean-spirited, things on social media, whatever, and just trying to make kids better citizens.
Well, and bullying, the thing about bullying is someone starts bullying, and if they went around, it seems like it's kind of contagious. Other people will start doing it too, won't they? I mean,
that's a good point.
They'll catch someone doing it, and they'll start doing it,
and that's when it takes, it takes some guts then to stand up and combat that. We sit here and preach, you got to tell somebody, Well, it's tough when there's a whole group, and it's hard to do, and it was hard. I thought it was hard for me to grow up back in the old days, but
I know the old days.
But boy, that social media is a whole different thing. I mean, you make a mistake and it's boom, it's everywhere instantly, and we're not trying to run and hide from that because it's there. We're promoting technology. Look at this. If it wasn't for technology, we wouldn't be doing this right now. But you still got to be a responsible consumer. You got to do the right thing. You got to do the right thing.
And so the public's invited.
Public is invited. We're going to do 2 different sessions.
Same session. Well,
same session, just twice.
Okay, so we'll go to one.
Yep, you can go to either one.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
An 8:30 session next Tuesday at the Huck Boyd Center, and then a 9:30 session. We'll be bringing up our high school kids and then our middle school kids as well.
Okay, and so this is, but I invite you to go out and see what's being done.
Yeah.
I think this core group's a great idea.
Well, I hope so.
How has that been on?
We just started it, actually, and one of the ourself and then Central Plains. I don't know if you know Central Plains High School.
They have pretty good basketball.
Good basketball team.
And Phillipsburg's that only one.
That's their only loss. It's their only loss
to them.
Well, actually, they're the only 2. Central Plains and us are the only 2 districts that I'm aware of in this part of the state that are doing this core group.
Wow.
And so what our plan is at the end of the year to try and meet in Hayes and get those 2 core groups together and kind of talk about, okay, what were some things that worked for you at Central Plains? What were some things that worked here? And it's an ongoing process. We're just, I can't say it enough. We're just trying to make more responsible citizens.
And again, you're walking one of those times again for the
8:30 next Tuesday morning, and then 9:30 just a repeat session. And I know people have to work, and I know that's not the best time, but we talked about we're doing it for the school kids. If the public can come, great. We talked about doing it at night, but talked to Jason, and he said, well, the last thing he did at night, the administrators and the teachers showed up, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So we'll give it a try.
It's okay. Well, that's good. And the students are going to be.
This all high school students and all middle school students.
All
All
right,
512 students will all be there.
That'll be at Huck Boyd.
At Huck Boyd next Tuesday, March 6th.
Just show up and go in and sit down.
You're welcome.
And take
Come
a
on
seat
in. Come on in. Take a seat.
And learn something about
That's
it.
right.
It's
That's
not
right.
a long session. And
maybe we can get Heinze to show up, and he can become a better citizen. Do you think? See,
I've known him for a long time, and I think he may have bullied me a little bit back in the days, a long time ago.
He picks on me at Rotary every week.
Okay, yeah. Okay? That brings a good point. Is picking on someone bullying if it's done in friendship?
That's a tough one because of the teasing. But I mean, is it abusive? Is it persistent? Every single day, are you doing it? That's when you get into bullying. If you tease me about my bald head, that's not technically bullying.
Sure.
I mean,
it's friendship.
And that there is a fine line there.
Yeah.
Sometimes the bullying term can be overused a little bit, but again, the two key words: is it unprovoked and is it persistent?
Okay,
You know,
that's the two words.
because sometimes you hear, oh, so and so's being bullied, and like, okay, well, let's look into that, and oh well, you were calling them name, or you stuck your foot out and tried to trip them when they come by and they called you a name back.
Yeah.
That technically doesn't meet
Right.
bullying because you were provoked.
Well, I learned something. I always thought that fights on the playground were bullying. It's not. It's just two different opinions on
Depends
something.
on what's going on. Depends on if your team's beating my team or not,
right,
and it's
that's
okay.
For sure. Yeah, okay. All right. So again, that's coming up next Tuesday morning. It was 8:30 and 9:30
Yes.
At the Huck Boyd. You're welcome to go out and learn a little bit about bullying. I mean, what a problem it is. I guess I not having kids in school didn't realize, and my sons never said anything about being bullied or anything. So anyway, okay, let's talk a little bit about something else, and that of course is security in the schools. I went out here the other day, and I had to stand outside and push the button, and they look at you, and everything. It's too bad that I used to go in the back door. Into the gym.
I understand.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
You can't, and it's just too bad we've come to that, but we have, and you have to do it for the safety of the teachers, administrators, and the students,
It's, we have those systems at each of the buildings. Somebody's going to say, well, that's not going to stop anybody. They could shoot the glass out. And that is true.
Sure.
But what you're trying to do is slow them down.
Sure.
And as far as the buzzing people in it, like yourself, we know you,
sure.
And that's okay. But sometimes we don't know everybody. And so you've just got to, you don't want just anybody roaming your halls. I mean, when parents send their kids to school, they want to believe that their kids are safe and they're going to get home safely. And we can't just say, oh, well, we're in Phillips County, nothing bad's ever going to happen here. Yeah, it can. And that's all really part of this. Why is there hate? And, we're trying to make responsible citizens better citizens because, you can get into the whole anti-gun and mental health thing, but if we make better citizens and we make people realize that that's wrong and you shouldn't do that, and maybe we can combat some of it that way as well. But yeah, we have the security systems at each building.
I saw a political cartoon on the papers the other day. I thought it was showed it was a two caps name. One showed ISIS, and they were all here, and one was saying we don't have to worry anymore. They're taking care of themselves, which is really bottom line. That's what it is. Sure. We're doing it to ourselves.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. And it's it's sad and it's scary, but you can't just stick your head in the sand. So here's what we do that. We do the drills. The lockdown type drills. Yeah. There's also, it used to be lock down and then hide, and now it's more, you're going to lock down and you're going to get out of line of sight, but you're going to be prepared to fight back.
Sure.
If they're coming through the door, you've got a chair, you've got pots or pans or whatever, books, whatever you're throwing at them. Somebody's going at their legs, and again trying to be more proactive. And I'm not talking about a kindergarten class here, but I'm talking about your older kids. Don't just cower.
Sure.
I mean, be ready to fight back. And
were you in the school when they had the nuclear thing? Maybe that was before your time. Remember when they had nuclear tests and everything?
Yes, yeah. That was a little before my time. Okay. I'm not as old as I look, Ted. No.
Okay, and that was after my time, But the kids were involved in that, and then we kind of took care of that, got rid of that, but we got that other thing. I've been sitting there wondering whether to ask you this question or not, and I didn't tell you beforehand.
Go ahead, Ted.
Can I ask you?
I'm a big boy.
Okay, what about teachers with guns? I told you, it just came to me. I don't know, and you can comment or not.
That's a good question. Teachers are kind of cut from the mold to to care about kids and resolve conflict, and it would be difficult in my opinion for a teacher to turn a weapon on someone. Now, we have ex-military teachers and trained individuals, and so maybe that would be different. The EMC group that we used to be insured with, they would not insure you if you had a gun. I just met with our representative yesterday, actually, and she said they're looking into insurance schools if they do have someone carrying. Now, if you're going to carry, what the insurance company was saying is it needs to be concealed. Because if I have it strapped on and you come up and you take it away from me, we got another problem. If I have it here, if I have it here and I take it off to use the restroom and I leave it in, then we got another problem. I mean, it would need to be concealed, and I'm not going to say it's going to happen right away, but it's probably coming nationwide somewhere. I mean, somebody's going to try it, and the argument is back to, like we said, fighting back. Don't just sit there and cower but boy, if you're going to be the one carrying the gun and pulling the trigger, you better know who you better know where you're shooting. I mean,
someone said, the police come in and they see an adult with a gun, that might be a teacher.
And here it'd be a little easier to talk and let them know, but there's a lot of variables. But your typical average teacher, they are not going to want to carry a weapon, and I'm going to tell you right now, Tad, I don't want to carry one. I couldn't hit anything if I wanted to. I'd probably shoot out a window or something. That'd be about it.
Okay.
So.
Well, Mike, we appreciate you coming on and answering that. Mike always, he always let me ask him questions. And
I tell it like it is. Sometimes people don't like to hear it, but
and that's it. But I think the idea that, and I don't know how much I used to attend all the school board meetings. I was doing the news. And I don't even know where you discuss. So
we'll probably bring it up this month. Have a chat about it. It's kind of on everybody's mind right now.
Yeah, and what's going on and what's going to happen, and a lot. I was really impressed with those students in Florida who went on CNN. They were really articulate. I don't know. Someone said, well, they were trained by someone. Well, I don't think so. I think they were just kids speaking their mind.
Yeah, we've got a good, you hear about kids today, they're just on their phone and they're just on their iPad, but, we got a good generation of kids. Maybe you and I don't understand them as well because of the way we were raised.
I don't understand what they text to me.
But, we've got good kids, and we've got good kids here in Phillips County. I mean, they know right from wrong. Do they make some mistakes? Sure, but that's part of high school.
Sure,
that's part of learning. I mean, you made a mistake. Here's your consequence. Now learn from it.
I almost didn't graduate from high school. My senior year, real quick. I'll tell. My senior year, I was on the baseball team. We went to state. We had three. That's back. In 51, when kids drove their car. We had two kids driving their car with team members going to imagine the liability.
That wouldn't happen today.
Imagine the liability. No, we had Bob Rennick. He was driving his own car with a carload of kids going to the baseball tournament in Wichita. We got to Dodge City from Garden City, and the coach was leading away. He had his car. And they pulled him off for something. Well, what happened? It rained. It rained in Wichita. They called the game off. Well, the coach got the story, but we didn't. And we went on through it. We didn't know what was going on. The next two cars. So the cars stopped, and we talked. What do we do? And someone called back to they said, "Come on back." there were 2 cars. The coach had already gone back to Garden. 2 cars. I was in the car where he said, let's go on to Wichita. We went on to Wichita. What happened, they didn't get the coach stopped. They got us stopped. He went on to Wichita. So there we show up in Wichita at the hotel. He said, what are you doing there? I said, well, we came on and, we got back home. It was about 2 weeks before graduation. The 6 of us in that car had to go morning detention. I didn't get a letter. 6 of us didn't get a baseball letter because we did that. And there was some discussion about whether or not they were even going to let us graduate. So that was my mistake I made.
You learned from it, though, right?
I did learn from it.
That's good.
When we were kids, it comes, I don't know what to do. Let's go on. And we all went on.
Sure.
That's kind of a bullying thing, maybe. Someone wants to do it. Everyone else wants to do it.
Peer pressure. They talked you into it.
Peer pressure.
Talked you into it.
To be honest, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But you think I'm going
Didn't
to
have
tell
guts
those
to
other
stand
5
up.
guys that I didn't want to do it?
I understand.
No.
That's what we're talking about.
I bared my life here this morning, so I came that close. I didn't know I was going to have a diploma. I went up through there. There was some talk about that.
Well, we're glad you got one.
I am too. I am too, because I could have gone on to school.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
very
right.
good. Mike, thanks.
Yeah,
a lot.
I appreciate it,
Enjoy
Ted.
having you on.
All right,
there.
thanks a lot.
One other real quick question. The legislature, do you see anything of what's going on there?
I think probably end up back in court again.
Really?
I think everybody's kind of dragging their feet again, and so we'll see. But I don't expect any magic bullet coming anytime soon.
Okay, well, thank you, Mike.
All right,
Good
take care.
job.
Thank you.
All right, always enjoy. Mike always will come on and talk to me. Okay, we're going to talk about some drama here in a moment. A reminder that the Tadpoll brought to you by Phillips County Health Systems, Olive Bovey Memorial Chapel, Stephen E. Rust, your State Farm agent, Sonic Drive-In. Like us on Facebook to see our Sonic deals. Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street, where the roads are paved with opportunity. Farmers and Ranchers Outlet and J&R Highback are folks making it possible for us to do this and talk about schools and bullying and hate and all that. We're going to talk about something a little more fun now, I think. And that, of course, is what's coming up tomorrow night, Saturday, and Sunday. We have, again, with us this morning. Hey, you're going to be a regular on here, you know?
No, I'm done for another year.
Oh, yeah, okay. You aren't going to China or Taiwan or anything like that?
No. They had a one for Germany, but Gordy told me that I can't go away for a month again.
Okay, so you are going to go?
Not going to Germany.
You
Not
know-
this year. We'll
do
see
you-
about next
You
year.
know any German?
I took German in junior high.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about that.
Oh,
Talk
okay,
to my past.
let's talk about this with us this morning. Yeah, Susan with us, the director.
Yes.
All right, break a leg tomorrow night and Saturday and Sunday. Okay, three. Yeah.
Three.
Tomorrow
Friday
night
the 2nd
and
at
Sunday
7.
afternoon. I always keep one and put one on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon.
No,
Okay.
just Sunday afternoon.
Okay, and that works out well because there's some other things going on in the community this weekend. You know,
Yes.
basketball.
Yes, yes.
And so that makes it possible for people, if they can't make it on a Saturday or a Friday, to come
They
on
can
Sunday
they can
afternoon.
come on Sunday after
Okay,
basketball.
Okay, what, 7? Is it 7? 7?
7 o'clock on Friday, 7 o'clock on Saturday, and 2 o'clock on Sunday.
Okay. I Googled a little bit, Odd Couple of Women's. I didn't find much on that. But did Simon do that? Did he do it? He wrote for the
it's-
women, too.
Yes, it's Neil Simon. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you had the good people and the bad people. Not bad. Not.
The sloppy.
Yeah, well, I'm not bad.
Are you sloppy? Yes,
Yeah,
You're
just
sloppy.
a little messy.
You weren't raised right? You were
Oh,
sloppy.
well, yeah, just a little messy.
Okay, you have.
Her character's messy. Jessica's not messy.
Well,
Don't lie to the people.
Okay,
It's
Jessica's
okay.
messy. She was typecast.
That's what acting is all about, you know, is living out what you usually are, you know. But you admit you might be a little sloppy.
Maybe a
or-
little bit. Maybe a little.
Okay,
Just don't look at my car.
This is Jessica Pugh. She
Okay.
is playing Olive.
Oh,
And
Oliver should be Oliver, right? Okay,
Yes,
all right.
Oscar.
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 Olive Madison.
Yeah.
her mess in the first act is so messy it's even flowed out beyond the curtain.
Wow.
So when
okay.
you show up, you'll see a mess with the curtain still closed.
Really? Okay. Okay. So how did you get? How did you get the part? I mean, how did you get it? And you've done past performances.
Yeah,
haven't you?
I've done a couple small parts in the past, and I kind of just expected to do a small part in this. And Susan approached me, and she was like, "What would you think about one of the lead roles?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. That's not what I had planned on." She was like, "Well, you think about it." And so I gave it some thought, and I was like, "All right, I'll give it a try."
No, if we're going to be honest, let's be honest. I said,
Oh, he doesn't.
I said, would you be interested in doing it? Well, I don't know, but sure, I'll do it. I'm like, wait, no, think about it. I know you have a job. I know you've got the kids. You're a busy woman. Think about it and get back to me.
And I thought about it, and I got back to you.
And I'm so
Yeah.
grateful she did. I'm grateful she did because she's been
You
doing
enjoy
awesome.
being messy?
It's, oh my goodness, it's a lot of fun. It is hilarious, and just it's a lot of fun.
What are some of the things you're messy with?
Oh, there's a lot of McDonald's stuff around,
Okay.
and I like McDonald's. So McDonald's, newspapers.
You don't clean up after yourself.
No,
Okay,
I've
all
got
right.
shoes everywhere and
Pop bottles.
pop bottles, and who knows what we're gonna find. Some
Okay.
dead plants, which that's pretty accurate.
Okay.
So,
And who's your opponent?
my
I mean, not opponent, but
right.
who's a nice. Who's a Tony Randall?
well, her character's name is Florence, and it's actually played by my sister Hannah Pugh.
Oh wow! How
Yeah.
does that work?
It's actually great. We have a lot of fun, and we run lines at my house all the time.
Sure.
So it works really well. We have that offstage time where it's not hard to get together.
Sure.
We're riding in the car together running lines, or I'm
Wow,
cooking
that's
dinner and
good.
we're running lines.
Okay.
And
So-
being siblings, they have that natural love-hate relationship
Yeah,
already.
Yeah,
Right,
it
yeah,
works. It
right.
flows so naturally.
Does.
Okay.
It's like you're typecasted.
Yeah, I don't mind yelling at her,
Okay,
so I don't feel
so-
bad.
Well, is your sister, is that typecasted with her, or is she around the house messy too?
She is messier than I am.
Okay,
Sorry,
but
Hannah.
she's really acting in this then. Right?
Hannah, bus.
She's really doing her thing.
Yeah,
What-
see, she
what-
really has to act.
This is a tough question, but what's your favorite line? Do you have a favorite line you really like to deliver?
I don't think I can give my favorite line because I don't want anybody.
Okay.
I don't want to like give anything away.
Okay.
Um,
Well, if you've seen Odd Couple, the male, you kind of know some
Yeah.
of the things going to be happening.
it's so good though.
Yeah.
It's so funny, and we really have a good time.
There are a ton of real. I mean, literally, if you come to tomorrow night, and you come Saturday, and you come Sunday, there are things on Sunday that you're going to catch that you missed in the first
Okay,
two.
so come
There are
around,
that
okay.
many funny lines
Okay.
that are
That happens
subtle.
a lot of times.
That you're gonna miss the first time around, but the second time
Right.
you're
I
gonna
agree
be. I
with
didn't
that.
hear that last night. That's hilarious. It really is funny.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna be a spoil sport and share one of my absolute favorite lines.
Okay.
Leslie was supposed to be here this morning. Leslie Ryan, who is one of our first timers. She's a little upset with Vera. This is
Okay.
Caitlin Sisler. She's playing Vera. And Vera's a little slow on the uptake, not the brightest bulb. But we love her,
Yeah.
and she plays it well. She's a smart girl, though. Don't. She's
Okay,
not
okay, all right.
typecasted.
This is not typecasting.
This is not typecasting.
Okay.
But Leslie says, "You're ringing, sir.
You're what?
You're ringing."
Your phone.
Okay, no. She says to her, she says, "Are you on Valium? Have you ever thought about taking speed so you could catch up with the rest of us?"
That is a good line.
That's a great line. I
That's a
love
great-
that line.
Okay.
So, but there's lots of really good.
Sure.
Yeah, there's good lines in it. It's
Okay.
very humorous.
All right. Well, okay. So who's Vera?
This is Caitlin Sisler. She's
Okay.
playing Vera. This is her first play with the Arts Council. She's done a few musicals though.
Okay. Okay. What's your job, Vera? I mean, what are you? A little slow again. Is that proper word to use now?
She's kind of a
Disadvantage.
dingbat.
You're disadvantaged now. Shut up.
Well, Well, she's kind of a dingbat, you know. She's
Okay.
she's really fun to play because honestly, I'd say most relatable role I've ever had, but
My
yeah.
phone ring. Anyone calls me, it plays New York State of Mind with Billy Joel. That's why that's doing that. Okay, I'm sorry. It should be done now.
But yeah, she's really fun to play. You know, she really adds to like the comedic effect of the whole.
Okay, what is your problem? Are you the comedy relief, as they say?
I'm
comedy
there to
relief?
make everyone laugh a little and kind of.
Okay.
They look at me
They,
like,
they
"Oh,
do
are
a
you
little
okay?"
head tilt and go, really?
Several
Seriously?
times. Several times.
Did you really just say that?
Yeah.
Did that really come out of your mouth?
Yeah, it's like, you know, during the serious parts, she's kind of just there to kind of relieve the tension, make everybody go, what?
Okay. Are you the one in the male part of it where they come in and one about poker?
Yep, instead of playing poker, they're playing Trivial Pursuit for the girls.
Okay, all right. That's
Yep.
this is the poker thing. Trivial Pursuit. All
Yep.
right. All right. So
And Connie is one of the Trivial Pursuit gals as well. She's playing Mickey the cop.
yeah, you're the cop. Okay,
I'm the cop,
all right,
yeah.
the cop there that they talk to, you know, and he comes in and he was having trouble with his wife, I think, in the male part of it. You had trouble with your
I have
husband.
yes, I do.
You have trouble with your husband.
Yeah.
No, so it's basically it's just they changed it to feminine instead of male,
Yep.
and it's
They've
same
changed,
stuff.
yeah. Then they've
Same
changed
punchlines
they've
and
changed
basically
the issues. You know, the relevant issues
Yeah.
are
divorce and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole thing. Well,
yeah.
that's great. And so, are you enjoying?
Oh yeah,
What you're
yeah. It's
doing.
great fun. My character is a little bit
Are
excitable.
you a woman policeman or
Yeah,
you're
yes,
okay? All
yeah,
right.
Yeah, there's no men in. Well, there are men, but not in the group
Sure,
that plays
sure.
the Trivial Pursuit. I'm a little bit excitable as a character, and things kind of get me riled up in a real hurry, and people have to calm me down a little bit, which is not good for a cop, I wouldn't say, but
No.
you know, that's the way I am. So.
Sure. Wow. And Trivial Pursuit. What's the question? Can you
Well,
think?
I shared one with you last week, but I told you I wouldn't give the answer.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah. What's one of the other questions?
What's the oldest vegetable known to man?
Yeah, the oldest vegetable known to man.
Can I try to answer
Sure,
that?
what's the answer?
Oldest vegetable.
It's a trick
known-
question.
Trick question. Geez. I was thinking pumpkin, but I'm sure that's not it. So
It's Vera.
It's also the P.
It's the P. It's the P.
okay, all right.
But it's her.
But I am, in
Or
fact,
it's
the oldest
you,
known
the-
vegetable.
The
in world.
vegetable
Yeah.
that make I see the trick question. That's funny. That's funny. So, have you really enjoyed doing all this?
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's been a lot of fun. Our cast is really working well together. I mean, we've just gelled together so well, and you know, having a couple of newer people in doing the
Sure.
acting thing is very refreshing. It's a lot of fun, and you know, we've just had a really good time. So.
Okay. Did you want to do any lines this morning or anything?
We didn't prepare anything.
Okay, that's fine. That's good.
Just come this
come
weekend.
Yep.
Come this
Tomorrow
weekend.
night, Saturday.
Yep.
Now I know some may be in Colby tomorrow because there's something going on there, but then and Saturday depends on something. No, tonight. No, tonight's when Phillipsburg plays. Yeah, so it's free tomorrow night. I mean, not free. It's not free to the show.
The show's not free.
It's free, but you're free to go tomorrow night. Saturday, hopefully, if they win tonight, then Phillipsburg will be Saturday. But then Sunday, you can go back Sunday.
Still have an
So if you see the game, you
opportunity
see it twice. at
So,
least.
so the full cast. Let me run it down again real quick. We've got Hannah and Jessica are playing the leads.
Okay.
We have Connie. We have Rita Hobson. We have Caitlin. We have Leslie Ryan. And then instead of the Pigeon Sisters, it's the Costasuela brothers, and they're Spanish
Hey,
brothers.
that's neat the way that works out.
And the language barrier,
It's so
It's
fun.
bad.
drama ensues.
Okay,
Let's just
so
put it that
okay,
way.
really.
Just a million laughs with them, and they're played by Dave Jerby and Kevin Wilson. The shows again are Friday at 7, Saturday at 7, Sunday at 2, and tickets are $8 for adults
And who won yesterday?
Who won
The
yesterday?
drawing.
Kelly Henneke.
Oh, yes.
Who?
Kelly Henneke.
Okay, all right.
Yep,
Won,
yep.
won the
She
membership
won
to
the
the
family
Arts Council.
membership. Yep.
Now, if you don't belong to the Arts Council, when you go tomorrow night, you can join. And I don't know, I always get the individual, but they have
The family membership is $50, and the individual
30,
is
25.
25.
25, okay.
And again, the individual tickets, adults are $8, students are $5. But if you have a family, that membership pays for
Oh,
itself.
oh,
If
yeah.
you know, because it gets you into all of our amateur productions, which this summer we're doing the Wizard of Oz. We talked about that.
Yeah.
So it would get you into this production. It would get you into the Wizard of Oz this summer. It gets you into all the professional shows that the Huck Boyd has throughout the
Sure,
season.
yeah.
And then you also get discounts on fine arts classes throughout the year as well. So
join,
it's a great
and
value.
to help out, I think it's great that the Arts Council couldn't bring things here. You know, I go out of town a lot to things.
Yeah.
But it's nice to just be able to go eat and go here and go home and go to bed, you know.
Yep, not have to drive an hour to have a
and
little
worry about
culture.
deer and all that kind of
Yep, yep.
stuff, though.
So yeah, it's a great value. You can buy those at the door all weekend long, and we would love to have you come out. It's going to be a million laughs, and like I said, come Friday night, come Saturday. I highly recommend trying to make it to more than one performance because you will find things funny.
And the thing of it is, if you buy a season thing, then you can go every time. You don't have to pay every time.
Exactly,
You
absolutely.
save $24 because that's $3 and $8 a piece. Where this other things, it's $30 for the whole year.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
little arithmetic there. And the family even better, you know.
Exactly, absolutely.
If you have 9 in the family, think how much money you're going to save.
True story.
Plus-
True story.
Plus filling up. Okay, one final question. Did you have a dress rehearsal last night, or was
We
that
did,
tonight?
and we're doing another one tonight just because there's quite a few costume changes. We want
Is
to
that
make
the
sure.
main? Is that the main reason? What the dress rehearsal kind of gets you ready for it? Right?
It makes sure that you've got your lighting down, your sound effects down, because we've got the phone ringing off the hook, we've got doorbells ringing,
Yeah.
we've got toilets flushing, we have dishes breaking,
yeah.
we've got sound effects all over the place.
Okay.
A nice belch at one juncture too.
Got a
Really?
vacuum running.
Vacuum.
Vacuum,
Yep.
wow.
So
Yeah.
it helps us to make sure that everybody knows their cues and everything flows real well, so that it's polished for when the audience
Well,
comes to
and
see it.
plus, if you have a special costume issue, it's to make sure that you're able to do all the antics that you need to do while
In your
wearing that
costume.
Wow,
costume.
wearing that,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Get the
Okay,
timing
wow.
down on changing.
Wow. Is everything working out all right?
Oh, we're doing great. It's
Okay,
been
one more
an
night.
adventure.
Okay,
Super
and-
excited.
And then tomorrow night, and again, as I said, break it. Do you know where that came from? Break a leg.
I don't know. Are you going to tell me?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me. Enlighten me.
It has to do with Broadway.
Okay.
It came from Broadway. Break a leg. There's a part of the scenery, it's my understanding, that's called the leg. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Probably hadn't made its way to Phillipsburg, Kansas. I'm sure they know on 42nd Street. You know what in New York. Anyway, break a leg. It's part of, and if you broke a leg, you're really successful. If something happened. That's what I heard. Break a leg comes from.
I'll have to look
All right.
that up.
Yeah.
Look that up.
bit more about it.
I heard that back there. Someone told me that.
That's
Whether
interesting.
it's right or not, that's what I heard. But it,
We'll go with
it
it.
makes sense.
You know
it
what?
makes
You
sense.
know
Works for
what?
me.
It's true story now because it came out of your mouth.
Well,
Yeah,
I
there we go.
not everything always comes out. Most of the time, but anyway, I appreciate you coming on. You have a great show.
Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
us.
so
Dad.
much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it very much.
Sure.
We'll see you this weekend.
I'll see you maybe all 3 times.
That would be
I hope
awesome.
so.
Okay.
Bring your friends.
All right.
Yep.
All
Thanks for
right.
having us.
Okay, fine. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
And Connie, if you find out about break a leg, if that's right or wrong, you might let me know on that. Okay, fine. Thank you. Reminder also, the program brought to you by the First National Bank and Trust, proudly supporting Panther Athletics. From our sales floor to your delivery door, come see Jim and Terry at Olive Bovey Furniture and Appliance, where they provide gracious living for less. Sunburst Realty LLC, where you find the best homes under the sun, professional family eye care. See Dr. Judeman for all of your eye care needs. Coombs Trucking, you call, we haul. Wyman Firestone, tire sales and service, back in youth of Phillips County, and Biggs Insurance for all of your auto, home, business, and farm insurance needs. They make it possible for us to do the things like we're doing this morning. Okay, I know who you are, but now who are you?
Oh, I don't know.
Angie, I think you have the record for you've been on this show 4 times more than I have. So that shows you how.
Really?
And Tony's
Wow.
with
She's
us
my
this morning.
spokesperson.
Hi there, how are you
Dad.
doing? And Angie, yeah, okay. We're going to talk about CASA. What's this basketball up in front of me?
Awesome basketball, isn't it? Look at that.
No,
Did you see
and
that?
I can't see. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I take it
I didn't
that's,
tell you I was going to bring that. I'm sorry.
that's good. That's great. Let's see. I'll see if I see everyone on
That's
there.
the 2017 KU men's basketball team.
That's the one now. Graham on there somewhere?
Yes, he's on there somewhere. If you
I'm
can,
sure they're all
You
on
can
there.
read
Y'all.
it.
if you can read it. But yep,
Self,
they're all there.
did Coach sign
Yeah, I
this?
believe
Is it over
he's
here?
supposed to have signed it. I can't
Okay,
figure
fine.
out which one it is.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think
No.
that's even better when you can't read
Oh,
it.
yeah, right. That's neat.
That's
yeah.
a-
Okay.
that's what makes
Let me
it cool.
sign the corner of that. No.
Yeah.
That's
Angie's over here at the top of the left.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
So
of
you're
course.
here to talk. Let me get my information out here.
Okay.
My phone rang a little while ago. Okay. That's the Easter. No,
Yeah.
that's that.
Well, I'm also with Tony.
Oh,
I'm on the
oh, oh,
CASA board.
All right.
And so I'm kind of with Tony, but I'm also kind of myself. You know how
Sure.
I always wear the hats. So
Sure.
yeah,
That
but
is not. This is the thing I was looking for.
Yeah, but
we'll
we'll
talk
talk-
about that. Then we'll talk about the
That's
therapy
perfect.
pool.
Yep.
And everything else that's going on with the chamber and the
Yep.
Main Street. Okay, Tony, thanks for coming
Sure,
over this morning.
thanks
I
for
don't know how
having
many
me,
times we've done this. We've done it several times. We do
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Sure.
And first, explain CASA a little bit.
Okay, CASA is court-appointed special advocates, and we consist of volunteers just from the community that advocate, and they're appointed by a judge to advocate and act as a voice for abused and neglected children in the court system.
Sure.
So when a child is enters the court system because of abuse or neglect, a judge can appoint a CASA volunteer to that case, and that volunteer basically just serves as another set of eyes and ears for the court, and becomes a friend of the child.
Okay, now, you, not only do they appear in court with the child, also do they kind of like a big brother thing? Is it?
Kind of in a way, yes. They basically, our volunteers investigate all aspects of the child's life. They'll talk to the teachers, neighbors, churches, ministers, anyone involved in that child's life, and then also spend time with the child and make recommendations to the court as to what we feel is in the best interest of that child moving forward. And our goal is to find a safe, permanent home
Sure.
for all the children.
And it has to be really, for the person, the volunteer has to really be great for them. For the young boy or girl, they're by themselves a lot of times. I mean, they have their attorney and all that kind. But you need someone to be a friend, I think.
Right.
And that's exactly right. So many times the children don't have anyone, a trusted adult in their life, and that's what a CASA volunteer is.
Sure.
Is can be that one constant that they may not have or may never have had.
Okay, so how do you get to be a volunteer? Yeah. Is there I'm sure there's a process.
There is a process. It's just members of the community that with a big heart that want to help the children.
Okay.
There is a background investigation.
Well, I'm
of
sure
course.
there is, yeah.
Of course, and then there is a 30-hour training, which about 16 hours of that is in the classroom. The rest is homework, and we do some court observation, and then they start on their cases.
And I know in your past experience too, to see what happens and how they evolve and they get. Are we talking about foster home or permanent homes, maybe going, or both?
Both. Whatever we feel and the court feels is in the best interest of the child moving forward, and that our goal obviously is to always try to reunite
The
them.
child
with
is
their
the
home.
important thing.
The child is the most important thing.
Sure.
And we act as just that one voice for the children only.
Okay.
And we, whatever we feel and the court feels is in the best interest of the child, for
What are we
permanent.
talking about age-wise for the child? I shouldn't call it.
Since I've been-
some are young adults, really,
Right,
aren't
right.
they? Kinda.
Since I've been with the CASA of the 17th Judicial District, we've had children as young as 10 months up to 17 years.
10 months.
Yeah, so
Well, how would you? Could you be a volunteer pretty good for a 10
we
month?
can, and basically that's where we come into play. Is we can act as that voice for that
Well,
child.
that's the
we
voice.
talk to
It makes sense.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because
and do the investigation and talk to people
Sure.
involved in the child's life, and,
That make-
and talk to the parents and visit with them and make sure that they have a safe, loving home to go to.
okay, well, that that makes sense. I'm your advocate.
Right.
Besides the attorney, someone who can look out for that particular. How
Exactly.
much time is involved in that? And is it very?
It isn't as time consuming as one would think. Initially, when you first initially get a case, it's fairly busy, 10 to 15 hours the first couple of weeks of just contacting everyone that's been involved in the
Sure.
child's life, meeting the child for the first time. There's some time in there it takes to get to earn the child's
Sure,
trust and
I
spend time
understand
and build that rapport. And then we ask them anywhere from 4 to 8 hours a month
Well,
to
that's
spend with the child. And when I ask that, I always ask that they do that. And I've never had a volunteer that I've had to say, you're not spending enough hours. It always ends up 15 to
More
20
than
or
that.
even more, yeah.
Is it everything? I mean, could you take a boy or girl fishing? Is that?
Yeah, they
anytime you
spend time with them. They
spend time any way you can
Yes.
spend time. Take them to a ball game.
take them to the ball game, to the park.
Yeah. Okay.
There is a lot of confidentiality involved, but we do
Sure,
spend as much time
right.
as we can
Sure.
with the child, and just building that rapport and the relationship really opens up the children, and they're able to talk to us.
If there's a volunteer, if they have children, do they get involved too, or is that a
No, it's usually just the
just a
volunteer,
one,
and
that makes
that's-
sense. You don't want,
yeah. Right, and that is one hard thing for the volunteers is they can't take anything home with them because of
Sure, I understand
confidentiality,
that,
and that's where I come into play as a director, is they can come
Okay. Wow.
and
Yeah.
bounce
You're the
ideas
17th
off me.
Judicial District.
Right,
See,
and
that's Osborne.
that
and
serves
Brooks.
Osborne, Phillips, Smith, Graham, Decatur, and
Brooks isn't
Norton
in that,
counties.
is it?
Nope, it jumps right over.
They go to Hill City.
Yeah.
They in that judicial
Yeah,
district.
Graham and up at Oberlin, or Decatur
Yeah.
and Norton counties as
Yeah.
well. So
Okay.
quite a big area.
That must keep you pretty busy then.
Just a lot of area to cover, but yeah.
Sure. Okay, how'd you get involved with it?
Well, I was actually going to be sign up to be a volunteer, and then
Now, when did you?
you know me.
I won't ask you
I don't
that.
sleep.
But
I don't
have
do
time.
anything.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was gonna sign up to be a volunteer, and then Tony said, "How about if you join the board?" And I said, "Okay." So
Wow.
I did the fingerprint thing. It all came back good, so I'm okay.
Okay.
But I started on the board. I've been on there 2 years.
About just almost 3.
Yeah,
2.5,
almost
something
3
like that.
years.
Wow.
On there.
Okay.
And so
all right.
I've been doing that, helping with the chocolate auction. Just whatever he needs. We got him
Wow.
moved to Phillipsburg, which is great.
Well, you live. Oh, you're.
Well,
my
you live
his
in
office.
Osborne still, but you have an office.
We
lives
have
in
an
Stockton.
office. We have an office in
Okay.
Osborne at the courthouse. And then we've been in the community building here at Phillipsburg
Okay,
since
good.
January of
I knew
last
that. I knew
So,
that.
yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
told me that yesterday.
And funny story, Angie probably doesn't remember this, but I met Angie sitting and waiting to come onto your show about 3 years ago. And
Really?
I think you just started.
Really?
Wow.
We are just starting about that
And he
time.
just
And I
couldn't
thought-
help it.
And I thought, that's a lady we need on our board. She's a go-getter. So, and a few months later, she contacted us.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why you're here, you have to. Okay, funding. Does your funding some come from the state or anything, and some from other sources? Let's talk about. The
We are a
state.
nonprofit agency that
Okay.
serves under a board of directors. So we get grants. The Dangy Hansen Foundation has been
I
great.
have someone on this
Great
morning
to
on
work.
that.
Yes, yes, we talked to her out back. So, but we do get some grants, and we get a little bit of state funding through the Office of Judicial Administration, which is a division of the Supreme Court. We have to abide by their standards and guidelines, and then the
You
standards.
serve
of-
their pleasure,
yeah,
in other words.
guidelines of the National
Yeah,
Council.
sure.
Right. But about over 50% of our funding comes from fundraising
Fundraising.
and from donations from the community. And so the chocolate auction is
That's a favorite thing
It's-
of mine.
it's
I
an
love
absolute-
the
Big
chocolate.
thing,
Okay.
yeah.
Is it a good money raiser too?
It does. It
You do
accounts
that
for
for
about
each county, or
30%
do
of our
you,
budget.
or you do it here for all the?
We do it
districts?
here in Phillipsburg for
For the
all the
district,
counties,
okay.
and Phillipsburg is a central location, and the Huck Boyd Center, you just can't find a much better
Yeah. Okay.
venue
Well,
for
okay.
something like that.
All right. So when's it coming up?
It is Saturday, March 24th at 5 p.m.
And that's
with
a social hour.
That's a social hour,
Okay.
where we'll have lots of.
Goodies.
I'll let her explain how to describe the food. Heavy something.
Heavy appetizers.
heavy
So
appetizers,
yeah,
so.
get your belly full and
Okay, and then the auction will follow, which is a fun. Now, is a social hour? Is there a admission to come to all that?
Yes, it's a $10 admission. You can just pay at the door. $10 for adults and $5 for children under 16.
Okay.
And during that social hour, we have several silent auction tables set up, and people can go
Okay.
around and place their bids
Is
on
this
the
a silent, or is that going to be regular?
That'll be a live
Live.
auction.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
That's
good.
live.
Yeah.
And then that's around 6 or somewhere after this. We try to start it by 6. We start the live
I'll
auction
call
with the
my
bigger
son
items
and
like
see how
this.
much he wants me to
That's
bid
right.
on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got several already. He's got a room at home that about twice the size of this. You cannot look anywhere and not see a hawk.
Is that
Really?
right?
Yeah. And
Well, there you
my
go.
other son has a room that's purple and has nothing but wildcat stuff
Yeah.
in it. So it's fun when they get together.
Oh, I
Right,
bet
well,
so.
we'll have it in a case.
Sure.
So it will.
Wow.
It will,
And that's this year.
That is this year. So that's
they're
the
playing
team.
pretty
that-
well right now.
That's the
They're
team that
fighting.
broke the record with the 14th straight
Yeah,
conference
14th straight.
championship. So
That's amazing.
That's a big one
Okay,
to
let's. So that's going to be available. Live and heavy hors d'oeuvres. I like the
hors d'oeuvres.
heavy hors d'oeuvres.
Yes.
All right.
So you get your belly
Because sometimes they have little finger sandwiches like that, and it takes about 19 to even
Yeah.
get rid of your appetite.
we
there.
have plenty of compliments on the food every year. So
Yeah,
it
and
is.
of course, the
very
chocolate fountain
good. Yes.
is a favorite place. Wine, beer, and champagne, and that. So it's just a good to get together. Now, I know it's confidentiality. Do you have many volunteers show up? And
Yes,
you
the
salute
volunteers
them
do
as
come, and
volunteers?
we do recognize the volunteers.
Okay.
They just can't talk about their cases.
Sure, I
or their
understand
children,
that. I
But
understand.
we do want to recognize those volunteers
Yeah.
because of the work they do.
Well,
because
without
they are-
them, you wouldn't do
right.
it.
And they're volunteers, and they're doing this on their own time.
Do you have trouble getting volunteers once in a while? I mean,
We do.
Getting the
It's-
word out is probably the big thing. And getting
That's-
the right person to get the message to do it, right?
It really is, and it takes a special person to be a volunteer.
Uh-huh.
And it is sometimes a challenge to find volunteers, but we have some great ones.
Okay.
And we are in the process. I do want to mention that if anyone's interested in become a volunteer,
Yeah,
in a
be
couple
sure.
weeks we're going to be starting a new volunteer training that we already have, I think 5 to start that, and then we'll start that training.
Okay, you're going to come on again before this, and you want
Yes.
to come on and talk about. You take volunteers year round, though. I mean,
Yes,
is that-
yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay, but they have to go through the. How many times a year do you have the classes, or could they just are they ongoing too?
We kind of just have them when we have enough
Have enough to
volunteers
make it
do
worthwhile.
I've done classes for one though. Or
Really?
two, yeah. If we have one that really wants to get started and we need it, we'll
sure,
we'll
to
get
them in the
started on the
system.
training.
Yeah.
And as far as the volunteer training, I do work with everybody's schedule, so I won't tell you you have to be here from 9 o'clock to
Okay.
1 o'clock on this day.
Good deal.
So we'll do it in the evenings on Saturdays whenever it works for everybody. So
Okay, $10 for adults, no advance tickets, pay at the door 5. Free ticket to sponsors over 100. Now, do you mentioned sponsors? What is that? What is
the
sponsor?
sponsors are the people that make the donations to the auction.
Okay, so anyone? Okay, so
Yes. And several businesses just give us monetary donations, which
Okay.
is greatly appreciated as well.
And then, what do you buy something for it, or do you give the money away?
Usually we use that just directly for the work with the kids.
So
and
what's
the
going
trainings.
on? You know,
So yeah,
to help pay for things
Right.
like the hors d'oeuvres and all that.
Yes,
the hors
and some of
d'oeuvres usually. Who does?
well, I'm gonna let her talk about food because they leave me out. I'm good at eating it, but that's as far as it goes. I stay
Okay,
out of that.
I've got to ask you. I've always wondered about this, and I've been to the other son has a one with several K-State balls, and the one has a K. They'll go to things and get these.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about getting this?
We had to. I applied through the Kansas University Athletic, and they have a
Okay.
nonprofit donation request page that you can go through.
So
there.
you don't have to pay to pay that?
We did have to pay a little bit for this one.
Okay.
But a
Now
lot
the
of
players,
times,
the KU players cannot benefit from the money that they get from this.
No.
No, that we don't want any of this paying of players coming up here. Like
and the lady did tell me they do have to charge for this because the players, because they have to spend so much time on the road, they don't have free time to. That the money goes towards the basketball program.
Okay,
and
so
that
not
frees
as
up.
such.
Yes,
Graham doesn't get
instead of going
$100.
no, and instead of going out
That
and
makes
making
sense,
public appearances,
Yeah.
these balls.
Of course,
don't do
that's a
that
big
for 'em.
problem now with college athletics and getting paid,
players
and
don't get
coaches
anything.
and players, and it's a mess. And I hope they get that straightened out.
Yeah.
You know, I was went down to see my son, the KU man, last Saturday to watch Texas Tech game together, which. It's a different experience watching a basketball game with my son, but he paces but anyway, he talked and we watched that, and that's all he talked about is how, college basketball has got to clean up their act, and
It's big business.
Yeah. Oh, it's big business. Yeah. Okay. So that's how you go through the athletic department and get that.
Right, and then most of our donations are from local
Sure.
businesses.
Okay,
Just-
so
there's so many in Phillipsburg. We appreciate them all, and there's too many to mention
Sure.
right now.
I don't
I'd
wanna
forget
leave anyone
somebody.
out.
Yeah, I'd forget somebody, but Phillipsburg and Phillips County is great about supporting CASA
Okay,
and
all right.
donating
Well,
to the auction.
I
So
would
a lot of
recommend
local
it.
items.
we'll have you on again as a bit
Yeah, I'd like to
closer.
come back. Yeah.
Yeah, come on, talk about this again. Maybe even a couple of times. The Thursday before, maybe
Right.
time. We'll talk to you.
Sounds good.
And on that, Tony, thanks for coming on. Anything else? We covered pretty
I
much
don't
on
think so.
CASA?
I
Okay.
don't
Well,
think so.
and on this, $10 for heavy appetizers,
Yeah.
for wine, beer, and champagne. You got the chocolate with the fruit, with everything. Plus, you get an evening just to
Well, that's a big.
socialize.
Just
and
being with
it's
people
such a
who are
good
enjoying
cause.
doing things.
Yes.
That's why I like the hospice thing. That's
Uh-huh.
why I like these things where you can go and you have fun doing it, and you're giving money, but you get something for
Yes.
it.
And bring their kids. The
Yeah.
kids have a ball.
Yeah.
The kids
Yeah.
love it.
We
Yes.
do. We have the board goes around and we do the baskets, or we collect different items. The
Uh-huh.
auction items and stuff. We get together. We each have different things that we're in charge of.
Sure.
And so it's really nice to be able to work with some of the ladies that are from the other counties
Sure.
that I would have never met before if I wasn't on this board. And
Yeah.
I just want to say Tony is a great director. He does a great job. I couldn't imagine all this without him because
Sure.
he does a wonderful job. So, and then it's
you.
a lot of traveling he does, and he has kids also, that are in sports
Sure.
and stuff, and that's
Yeah.
that's really important.
Wow.
I mean, I know that because I deal with that too, but he does a great job.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I recommend it. There's a fun thing. If you like chocolate, you don't have to like chocolate.
No.
There's all kinds of stuff.
And that is one thing. If I can say real quick, I get a lot of questions that because it's a chocolate auction, people think we just auction off chocolate.
Yeah, right.
And that got its name because it used to be centered just around
Sure,
the chocolate
sure.
fountain. And it's
Well, the
grown
fountain
to
was a
where,
thing.
yeah. So it is a real auction with a lot of nice items. So,
A lot of
but
nice
lots of
items.
chocolate too. So,
So
we
who
gotta
does
leave
the
that in there.
orders?
Well, Missy does the order. I mean, they put it all together. The
All right.
food. There's a food committee. There's other
Oh,
committees
so you
and stuff.
say,
But it's
okay.
just like heavy things we had last year. I mean, we have anything from pizza rolls to
Really?
oh
We
my
had
gosh,
meatballs
shrimp,
one year that were really good. Shrimp.
Wow.
shrimp.
if
We
they're
had
meatballs,
just
it is.
tons of different stuff. I mean, I can't even
20.
Yeah, it's all
24th.
board driven. So
Yeah.
the board does all
Huckleberry
the
Center,
work.
social hour starts at 5. That's when you can eat most of your hors d'oeuvres, I think, and then do your other thing and do the chocolate fountain. I'd like to put that strawberry under there. Anyway.
Girl Scout cookies
Yeah,
or whatever else, and
right,
then chocolate and stuff.
And then the bid on the silent auction stuff, and I'm glad to know about this because
Yeah.
I'll be
Good.
talking to
I
my
debated
son.
whether to bring it. I'm glad I
No
did.
problem at all.
Yeah. So if you are a KU fan, this
Yeah,
will be at
yeah,
the chocolate auction.
Yeah.
So
It's good for them to bid a lot. Don't bid too much. That way I can I'm just kidding. Bid, go whatever it takes on
And,
this.
and people can go to our Facebook page. It's CASA of the 17th
Uh-huh.
Judicial District, and there's pictures of a lot of our different items that we
Okay,
have,
all right.
jewelry,
Well, you
trips.
Next time
and
you might
things like
bring a
that.
list
So,
of some
yes,
of the things
I
you
will do
have.
that,
Okay.
So,
All right. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you,
So
Ted.
we
I
appreciate it.
appreciate
We'll
it.
have you. What? 2 weeks?
that sounds great.
2 weeks
I'll
and
just
3
plan on
weeks.
coming. I can do 2 and 3. How's that?
That's right.
Yeah.
2 and 3.
3.
Does that work?
Hopefully is that the Thursday before?
How about the
probably?
22nd?
Yeah,
Does that
22nd.
work?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you plan on coming? I'm gonna have to call you. Then
Nope,
we'll just
I'll
have you
just- I'll
here
plan
the
on being
22nd and the 15th.
Great.
That make sense?
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
Thank
we'll
you.
do that then. All right, talk
Okay.
about it, Cost.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Tony.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Right,
it.
go in.
Good,
See you later.
good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ted.
All
Thanks,
right.
Angie.
See ya.
Angie's here.
All right.
Oh, you're going to take that with you, huh? Okay.
Yes, he does a great job.
I'm
We're very
gonna
happy
be-
to have him. So
I'll have a amount that my son will let me bid on that.
Yep.
Because I know he'll want to put that. I mean, he's got so much stuff himself and the other one has on a K-State. So, it's-
and isn't that exciting? That is this year. I mean, 2017,
right, yeah, that's this
2018.
year.
So
That's your
that's
Graham
Yeah.
and the V or whatever. I have a hard time with his name. Number 10. I just call him number 10, and the rest of them.
I told Lance. I said, "How much would you give for this?" He just like, "Oh, I'm not saying."
Okay.
So we'll see.
Well, he'll probably be bidding again. Anyway, all right. What else?
Okay.
Something today.
Today. Open house. From noon to 1 at the Phillipsburg Therapy Pool.
Mm-hmm.
So it's behind. You go around the
Behind.
wellness and the pool, and you can park back there. Come back there. We got cookies. We'll have Edie and Nikki will be talking about what's going on in the therapy pool, all the different things, the bikes, the mommy and me classes. We just need to start utilizing it. We need to start getting people
It's
in
great.
there.
I use it.
Yes.
And you go out there, and I think I mentioned this last time. I went to the the hospital thing.
Rehab. Mhm.
Rehab. And they sent us, a whole program.
Yep.
And there's some rule that they have that they cannot be together because there's a distance or it's some dumb government rule.
Right.
There's a lot of dumb government rules, and they don't make sense. But anyway, but you go out there and they really take care of you, and you leave your list, and you go out there every time and just go down through everything, and you're I think third of the weight or half the weight, so you can do things in the water that you couldn't do out.
Right.
Okay.
So just come on out to the open house today, have a cookie, listen to what's going on there. We're really excited. Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street. The city is a member of Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street, and so we're going to start doing a little bit more of this kind of stuff, getting together, working with
Good
everyone.
idea.
So if anyone else has anything they would like me to do, give me a call, 543-2321, and you know me, I'm ready to go. I'm happy to do
Well,
it.
you
So
can keep me on what's going on because
That's
we
right.
get things going on around here. Because a lot of things going on. People say, "Well, there's never anything to do." Well, that's there's always something to do.
Well, our table tents from Convention and Visitors Bureau
Mm-hmm.
that Tammy puts together and does a great job doing that. They will be going out.
That's what you call that's a table tent.
Table tent, yes.
Well, I kept seeing all these things about tents, and I said, I didn't see any tents out here on the courthouse square.
No,
But
it's called a table
I've
tent.
learned something today.
Yes.
When you go to go eat, sit down, and you see the thing with all that's a tent.
Table
I've learned
tent.
something
Yes.
because it said you said a lot of people are using the tents. Well, I looked around. I don't see any tents out here in the middle of the winter.
They're so funny. Yes, those are table tents that Tammy
well,
puts
I've
together
learned
and
those
does a
are
great
tents.
job.
Gee,
And
I don't know what I call them. I call them. I know what I call them. Things that tell what's going on. That's
okay,
what I
well
call
that
them.
is a great name. But
Okay.
yes, so they're going to be going out for March.
Wow.
Things that already are starting. It's pretty full. It's and then we have people that different businesses that advertise, get their business card or whatever. We started
Sure,
that kind
yeah.
of helps with the cost a little bit, and so it just kind of gives them a little plug.
You're never too old to learn, are you?
Well, I'm glad that we can do that for you,
I
Dad.
said tents. Tents, not TENSE. It's TENTS. Tents. But
Yeah.
then I thought, well, maybe that's when they have a or have a yard, not a yard sale, outside sidewalk
Mm-hmm.
sale. Maybe they're putting tents up, but I don't see any tents around now.
nope,
Okay.
nope.
That's what they are now. So when you go to coffee next time, you look at that. That's called a tent. All
Yep,
right.
and
Okay.
it has
sorry.
a bunch of information on it, and it just kind of tells you what's going on around
Oh.
Phillips County.
Fine.
So
My day is not ruined now because I've learned something. Well, what else?
well, good. Okay, well, this is until the end of the month, and today's the first of the month, but we have the Easter egg hunt. It's going to be on March 31st, start at 10 a.m. on the courthouse square, and we're going to have the Easter bunny there. We're going to have a whole bunch of eggs. Like I said, I've been stuffing them eggs like crazy, so
You need help stuffing them?
sure, anybody
Okay.
that wants to come help, they can find me, come on in, the office is open, and just come and help me stuff eggs. You never
Okay.
know what you're going to find in it this year, so I got
Okay.
a lot of different stuff.
Really? Okay.
And then,
what you're putting in there is what the child or young gets, and then they follow the instructions on what's in the.
no, actually what's in the egg is candy or a little toy kind of thing.
Okay.
And then what they do is then they come to the ticket booth
Oh.
and they get their ticket.
Okay.
And then, so it's kind of, yeah, because, I mean, that would be
But,
like
uh,
one.
Sure.
So now the kids can get more than one egg. Used to.
Oh, they
yeah,
can now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Used to, they could only get one egg,
Well,
and that had
I-
their ticket in it.
And that was
Yeah.
because of well, they only got one egg because some of the older ones they get out there and get about 38, and so this it made it for the young ones to get them. So
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. So now they can get more than one egg,
Mm-hmm.
and then they go back and they go to, like I said, the ticket booth, and they get their ticket, and then it tells them where to go,
Okay,
what
that's when they
business
get
to
to
go
work. Okay.
to get their
Wow.
basket. And their basket, just to brag a little, is just amazing because I just
Okay.
put a lot of neat stuff in there. But I just think it's really important. I mean, I think, for myself, being a mom, I just think, oh, what would they like? And I'm a bargain shopper, so I try to get things that are, whatever. Through the year, I'm constantly looking at different things in magazines and on every place and in the stores and, oh, yeah,
Sure,
okay, this
yeah.
would be great. But so I stock up through the whole year on different
Sure,
things.
yeah,
So, yeah,
wow, wow.
but it's fun.
And we talk about how busy she is. Last Friday, was it Friday? Thursday. When was it? I see Friday out of
Friday.
I did a senior adult thing. I fell down on the ice. Hadn't fallen for 2 years, and I fell on the ice. And I didn't really hurt myself much. I did something. Angie stopped by on the way home and wanted to see how I was doing.
I had to make
it's
sure
all
you were
the stuff
okay.
she does. She'll stop to see how I was
Of
doing.
course. I
And I'm
make
doing
sure
all
you're
right. I've
okay.
got a big bandage on it. But
Your head okay?
yeah, well, I don't know what my head's ever been okay, but yeah, no, I hit the fence and it was wood. I didn't go all the way down,
Well, I
It
tell
was
you
a dumb
what.
thing, dumb.
No, it wasn't a senior thing because I tell you what, Tammy and I were probably 20 minutes behind you, and both her and I just about went down. So
Yeah.
it was, it was slick.
And then
It was very slick.
Saturday morning, trying to do the sports talk, I had to have 3 people come out because the brick was so slick. I
Yeah.
couldn't even get out of the van.
Yes.
Thank God that's gone.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
we got off.
But
So-
isn't it so nice, Tad, that people in this community care
Oh,
about
yeah.
other people
It
and
is.
and get together and want to make sure that everyone's okay, and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
even if it's a stranger, I'm going to be there. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm going to help, and not just because it's
I
you, but
appreciate
it's
you
just
stopping
'cause
by there and checking out everything. Want to know how the head was.
I'm glad
and-
you're okay.
Okay.
I even
so-
took in your mail.
Okay, fine.
But so that's what's going on today. Please come out to the aquatic center, aquatic therapy pool, and just check it out. If you've never been there before, this is your
It's
opportunity
an amazing,
to see
it's
it.
an amazing,
thing.
And not just people from Phillipsburg or Phillips
Right.
County come. They come in from because they realize what we have
Right.
here.
We have a gym.
It's a year-round. It's a year-round
Yes,
thing too.
Year round, we have a gym, and we need to let people know that it's here. And I mean, I'm not talking about like gym, but
Sure.
a jewel
Yeah,
gym,
well,
and same whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know the same thing or not, but anyway, it's very, 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 very important. And please come out. We need to utilize it a little bit more. We got these awesome bikes. We just come out and listen to what they have to say. They might say something, and then you're gonna be like, I had no idea.
And you don't have to go in the pool today. You
No,
don't have to put on your
no.
swimming suit or anything like that.
No, I will not have a suit on today, so no. But so yeah, it's gonna be really fun. All right.
I always try to plan it out there because I don't want anyone to, no one to see me in a swimsuit.
Come on, get them legs going. All right, we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and people want to know if I enjoy doing this. I really enjoy everything we've learned this morning. We're still going to learn a little more from Hanson. I think one nice thing about it, I have a chance to share a lot of my personal experiences through the years that I've been involved in, which I enjoy talking about. It's just not anything special. It's just, everyone has a different life. So, all right, we're going to talk about scholarships here this morning, and join us with us this morning from the Hanson Foundation, Courtney States. Good morning, Courtney.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. Let's talk about the Hanson Foundation. We are so fortunate. We talk about this I belong to the Community Foundation, which uses a lot of grants from Hanson. $50,000 matching thing, and we use it, and we meet and give that away. Betty Johnson on the strategic has stopped by.
Yes.
She was on here a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, great.
And talking about strategic planning, and we have someone next week coming on to talk about the millennial. Anyway, it's just, we're so fortunate here in Phillips County and I've been involved with them for a long time. I used to go down and be the PA guy I was one of my special times to go down and do that. Anyway, and I'd see a lot of people there that I wouldn't see the rest of the year that I knew, So anyway, Courtney. But then my son in 1975, he made the list to be interviewed. He didn't get it, but they gave him a little, I don't remember how much they gave him. He didn't get the scholarship. He went to medical school a different way, got to be a doctor, but the legislature had a deal if you signed on in medical school and promised to go back to an underserved area, that it would be forgiven. Mm-hmm. And it was forgiven. He went back to Abilene, Junction City.
Okay.
And that's so it worked out well.
Well, good.
Anyway, but it has grown every year, and I look at the list.
Yes.
And the money and everything, it's amazing. I don't know where to start on this. We're going to talk about the scholarships mainly in the foundation today. You know where the idea for the scholarships? I know that's before your time, I'm sure.
Yes.
Quite a bit before your time.
Yes.
But how did all that get underway? Do you remember how? Did you ever hear the story about how the scholarships got started?
I just know that education and the young kids in our area is very important. Mm-hmm. Mr. Hanson got his wealth from the Logan area, Northwest Kansas, and I think he just wanted to help the younger kids, in our area. So I think that's probably where it all started, and like you said, has really grown and is a wonderful program.
It sure is. I know. I used to go over there and do my Tadpoll quite often, and it would always be during February when the kids were coming in to do the artwork like they do, high school kids, and there were always people around there with adults waiting to go in and be interviewed.
Yes.
And was there a time along? How long have you been involved in? I'll ask you that.
I've been at the foundation it'll be 6 years in April.
Okay.
And so I've been with the scholarship program those 6 years, and so I took over Wanda Jandra. She was on there for 40 years. So,
Did they decide at one time we're going to make this more, or did they determine how much money is available? How do they determine how many scholarships? Because there's a lot of them for a good amount of money,
Yes. I think just over the years, there are so many amazing kids in our area. Yeah. And so I think it just grows over the years. The trustees make the decision to increase, whether it's the stipends or the number of scholarships. So
and it's good, I think, too, the fact that it's not only just four-year colleges. It's other, every kid doesn't want, every young boy or girl doesn't want to go to college. They want to do something else. They want to do something they're good at, and they can get better at it by going to some of the I don't know, they call them trade schools anymore. What do they call them?
Community or technical colleges.
Technical, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds better than trade school, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so community colleges, so they can do that. So that's them get back to the workforce a little earlier, doing what they want to do.
Yes. Yep. With the scholarship program, there's pretty much three main categories. We have our academic scholarships, which that's where they do the testing and the interviews.
Yeah.
And then we have our career and technical education scholarships, and that's an application process. And that's for the kids who want to go to a technical or community school, do a 1 or 2 year associate or technical degree or a certificate program. And then we have a community or technical college transfer scholarship. And that's for kids. It's not the graduating high school seniors. It's for the kids who have went to a community or technical program, have completed a minimum of 32 credit hours, or received an Associate of Science degree, and they are planning on going on to a 4-year school. So we have 20 of those available.
So those are all available. I can't imagine. I'd like to be a mouse in the corner on those interviews. That has to really be. I know several of them. I know Wade.
Ward
Ward
Cassidy.
from St. Francis. I got to know him. Cassidy.
Yes.
And I know several others on there. And in fact, I got to talk to him. We're eating one night.
Oh, yeah.
And he was here doing that. And I said, how's it going? He's fine. Said a great group of students again this year. And I said, that must be tough. And he says, it's a tough job, because... and talking with them when I was down there in the museum part where they kind of hang out, how sharp they are and everything. What's going on.
Yeah, there's about 500 kids who take the test in September.
500, wow.
Who take the test in September.
Sure, right.
And then there's typically around 180, 190 who are interviewed. So those kids are so exceptional, and they are really amazing.
And you hear it about kids now. Well, growing up, I was one of those kids now. And that was a long time ago. But kids are kids, but they all know what they want to do and everything. And so they have and then do they have set a number up? They have so much money they were going to go. How's the process work? That's the main reason I want to talk. How to pick someone work besides this test and the interview, and then how do you decide who gets what?
That's the scholarship committee. Once they complete their interviews, they have a great process that they go through, and
so it's kind of cut and dry on how to do it, right? So
they say that is definitely their hardest part is deciding who's a leader, who's a scholar, who's a student. But they have a great process set up, and I think it works really well for them.
Yeah, so. Right. And any idea how much you gave this year?
Well,
total. Or do you keep track of that? Do you keep track of that?
Sure. We actually just sent out our award letters last Monday, and so the kids should be receiving their letters, notifying them whether they received a scholarship and which one. And so it varies because we do have renewals. Our leaders are renewable for 3 additional years, and our scholars are renewable for the 3 additional years, and then student, career and tech, and our community transfer, those are all renewable for an additional year. So it just depends on renewal and everything. But last year it was around 2.7, 2.8 was paid out in scholarships. So
$2 million? Wow.
Yep,
I didn't realize it was that much. Well, like you say, it's hard to tell because you had the renewals as in part of the scholarship because they're already in the system. So and if everything goes right, they're going to get that again. And they have to maintain grades and all that, attendance and all that kind of stuff.
They have to be enrolled as a full-time student. Any of our scholarship recipients do.
Great.
And they must maintain a 3.0 or better at the college level.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how many counties are involved? Is this Northwest?
It's the 26 counties in Northwest Kansas.
What is it? 81?
Over to 70.
Salina, 70 north, that northwest quadrant.
Yes.
Do you ever have any counties Rush County, they ever contact, hey, we'd like to get in on this. You ever get in these counties? Finney
Maybe with the
County,
grant side, I don't know.
Finney County, no,
We're so
other grant.
close.
Yeah, it is, and it's just I may have mentioned this before. I had no idea what it costs to go to college now. And again, personal experience. When I went to Fort Hays in 1951, per semester, 16 hours I took 16 hours every semester, 16 hours, $42, not an hour, total.
Oh, wow.
$42 a semester to go to college. I made enough in the summertime. I didn't have to borrow one penny.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have a scholarship, but I didn't have to borrow one penny. $42, and there's another $5 on there to pay for the new student union they're trying to build. And people griped about that, but it's a great student union. But $42 for 16 hours. It's
Wow.
and my grandkids all went. My kids went to college, and I had no idea how it's growing now.
Yeah, the prices.
Privates really are up there too.
Yeah.
As I know, Rachel was telling me about what it is in Bethany. Anyway, so when's the process? You start the process in the first of the school year for new people.
Yes, we typically get the names of the upcoming seniors and upcoming freshmen from the counselors. June, July, August. We send out a big mailing. The letters to the freshmen are just kind of saying, hey, you're a freshman. I know senior year seems a long ways away, but these are some things you need to think about. And the letters to the seniors just let them know about all of our scholarship opportunities. And so that's sent out in August. And then the testing is in September.
Wow.
And they have to meet a couple requirements.
Sure.
They have to have already taken the ACT and received a 21 or better composite score.
All right.
And they must have a 3.50 or better GPA. And so then they sign up with their counselor. Their counselor contacts me and registers the kids for their test. And the test is in September, normally the 12th, 13th, 14th,
Sure,
right around there.
yeah.
It's a Wednesday and a Thursday. And we have tests at 5 different locations. We have some in Colby, Hayes, Logan, Salina, and Concordia. And so different schools are registered at the different locations. And so they take the tests, and then we go through the process of
Sure.
grading and everything with that, and then they're invited for the interviews in
Just
December.
waiting for that letter for the interview,
Yeah. Yes, and then in February is when they interview.
Okay, and then they release that when?
The letters were sent out on Monday. We normally wait about a week and a half before.
So they don't read it on paper.
Yeah,
right?
so they can tell everybody that they want to know, and then we send it to the publications and the counselors. So
Sure, okay.
yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah, and then in between all that, we have our career and technical education scholarship due in October, the end of October, beginning of November, and our community or technical college transfer scholarship is due in February 1st.
Wow.
So
Do you have anything to do with the grants?
I don't work with the grants. Kyra Reese at our office, she's the grant coordinator.
I'll try her on here too, because I mean to tell you, we are so fortunate, and I still remember. I knew Polly real well, and Dane, and the son, and it's just amazing how that is. It's an amazing building. It's great what they do over there with the Logan Labor Day thing. That's great, and the story on that, and then of course the moving up from September back to August, I think. It was, I don't know how it's working out. Of course, I'll talk to Sherry about that.
Sure,
We'll talk
yes.
about that on what they do there. I think it's just an amazing thing. And I've been there, and people from out of state have seen the sign and have come down, and don't believe that what's Logan, Kansas doing with this.
Yes.
Not to say anything, but Logan is not a large city. But to have a facility like that there is amazing.
Yes.
And through the years, how it's grown. I know Dane had the Dane had the Cadillac, the big Cadillac.
Yep.
And it's really how and it continues to just be there, I think. Anyway, anything else? I know we got a list of other things. We cover everything.
Yeah,
you
I
wanna
think
talk
we
about
covered
this
it.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, our big scholarship is our Hanson Leader of Tomorrow, and that's $10,000.
Okay.
Our Hanson Scholar is $6,500.
Okay. Oh,
And-
that's good. Okay.
Yep,
10,
our 10,000,
That's
6,500. The $10,000 renewable for 3 additional years.
wow. See, that's really gonna help.
Yeah, our scholar is renewable for 3 additional years,
Yeah.
and our student career and tech and community college
Mm-hmm.
transfer are $4,000, and they're renewable for 1 additional
Wow.
year.
Okay. So,
So,
wow.
yeah.
So
And-
that's amazing. Did you ever get in on any of that, or is that just all left up to the committee, and you just have to line it all up and to take care of getting everyone together and everything, right? Is
Yep,
it-
I just coordinate everything and make sure everything flows good. So yes, and we do have a website, DaneHansonFoundation.org, and we do have a Facebook page, and we keep those up to date with reminders and just new things coming out. So
Did you ever have any of Polly's pecan pie? She was famous. Polly Mills was famous for pecan pie.
I did not have any.
And
no.
anytime you go down there, she'd always have Tad come out there and have a piece of my pecan. I mean, she would bake 20 at a time, I think.
wow.
Oh yeah.
Nope, I never did get some.
Yeah, she was famous for her pecan pie.
Oh, good.
Okay. Anyway, okay. Well, we may have we'll have to bring who is it?
Kyra Reese.
I want to have her. You might inform her that when she gets back, she's going to be hearing from me to come on and talk about
All right,
the
I'll
grants.
let her know.
Okay, because that's a great program. The grants, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
We do it. We take a night and we have all these applications for Phillips County,
Mm-hmm.
and we go through and determine what we kind of do that.
Mm-hmm.
Our committee, the same as a scholarship committee, down their thing. We
Yes.
determine who gets the money.
Yep, that's right.
And it's fun because
Yeah.
some great ideas out there on making Phillips County a better place to live.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
And it's not just Logan, it's not just Phillipsburg, it's all the other kids. It's the county, which is
Mm-hmm.
really neat there. So, well, appreciate you coming in.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, sure. We may have you on again as we get next fall or something. We'll do it. Talk about that process again.
All right,
I was
sounds
thinking
great.
it'd be a neat idea to have you come on and give all the winners.
Oh,
But
well,
is that a long list?
it's a pretty long list. We
Okay.
award about 280
Oh, well,
new
that is a
scholarships
long list.
every
Okay,
year.
well,
so-
we may not do that, but
and some of the names are hard to pronounce
sure,
too.
I
so-
know. That'd been fun to do. We did another show on that. Anyway, thanks a lot.
Thank
Courtney.
you.
We appreciate you coming in.
Bye-bye.
Wow, excellent program again here. And again, I always say that not because of the interviewer, because of the interviewees and how they know what's going on and everything. I appreciate the fact that Rachel has to come in here every Thursday morning, take up her Thursday. I don't think she plans anything for Thursday mornings outside of this because she has no idea how we're going to keep her here. So that's it for this morning. And next week we're going to talk about. Oh, I should have brought my list. We have already a couple of guests coming on. Oh, I don't know whether he wants to come. I don't know. I don't have him down yet, but I've got. What else is coming? Anyway, we'll let you know what's going on. But we'll have a full house, I'm sure. Saturday morning here on the Sports Talk next door, we're going to have the wrestlers from. They've been invited. Andy Kenny, the coach, been invited, and all 3 wrestlers have been invited who medaled. Phillipsburg took 3, medaled 3, was the state champion. So they've been invited to come on Saturday morning. And of course, we've already talked to Keith and Rachel, girls and boys. Rachel's through now, but Keith's in action tonight, whereas boys are in action. He'll be in action, maybe up and down the bench a little bit, but he's going to be on, and Rachel will be on Saturday morning. Maybe, who knows, something else might show up between now and then. Again, thanks for watching again this morning and bearing with us. Just a great number of people who appeared with us this morning on different programs. Don't forget, a week from today is the Blood Mobiles out at the fairgrounds, And 12 to 1, the therapy pool today. Go on out and have some cookies and see what's going on there. And no one's going to throw anyone in the pool. That I've been guaranteed of that. So we'll see you Saturday next door here on the Sports Talk, and next Thursday here on the Tadpoll, 9 o'clock.